What is going on, beautiful people? We are back, subs and dubs, episode 10, and I'm super excited for to be live with you guys for this card tonight to make a lot of money. I'm just excited all around. So, we are talking UFC 296, Kobe Covington versus Leon Edwards, and holy shit, what a card this is. Last card of the year, UFC usually tries to go a lot with these end of year cards, and boy, did they bless us with one today. Even the main card, I mean, Edwards, Covington, Pantoja, Royval, Shavkat Thompson, Tony Pimblett, Josh Emmett, Bryce Mitchell. That's just the main card too. It's going to be so crazy. And with that said, I mean, we got a lot of action. I'm on a lot of dogs on his card, and we're gonna make a shit ton of money as we try to always do. Now, say we're gonna make a shit ton of money. Let me also recap last week. So last week was not good. Minus 3.57 units. That's the second week in a row where we haven't really caught our stride. Not a lot has fallen our way. Losing decisions, that we feel like should go our way. Bad reads, obviously. So we're looking to bounce back. No better time to do it than now. Last card of the year. So yeah, let's get to it. I'm gonna try to keep the show super short. I got a very busy day ahead. I got family in town. We starting the Christmas stuff a little early this year, so gonna be super busy today. So I want to try to keep this maybe half hour, 45 minutes, and get you guys in, get you guys out, get you guys all the info that you need, and hopefully to have a successful night. So before we get into it, let's talk about the sponsor of the video real quick. Sleeper Picks, one of the best DFS platforms in the world. You guys hear me talk about Sleeper all the time. They're running some awesome promos for today, for tomorrow as well, for first time depositors. So if you're new, if you've never signed up for Sleeper, download it, sign up using code GoldBoys or FTB, and deposit $100, and you get $100 for free to play around with. So yeah, shout out to Sleeper. So like I said, I'm gonna try to keep it short. So let's get right into it. My man Sauce in the chat. I think he was here last week too. I appreciate you for being here. My brother YBB is in the chat. I appreciate you, YBB. Brian, who won the giveaway last week, is back in the chat. I appreciate you, my brother. But yeah, let's get right into it. So I mentioned I like a lot of dogs, and we're gonna start the main card off with one. Shamil Gazayev is fighting Martin Boudet, and I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. So I locked in Gazayev. I always say his name wrong. Gazayev a little bit earlier in the week, so I got him at plus 126 on the money line. I'm gonna keep it real. The price is moved down now. I think it's like plus 110 on FanDuel. I think that's the best price. I really wouldn't take it there. I know it's only 16-cent difference, but in a volatile heavyweight fight, you could take every cent you get in terms of the juice. And in a heavyweight fight, coin flip type of fight, in my opinion, I think every cent matters. So take it if you want. At the plus 110, I think plus money's always good. In a fight like this, but you know. At the current price, I really wouldn't take it, to be honest. I also played Gazayev round 1, round 2 KO, TKO at plus 370. Maybe just take that. Maybe just take that as a little sprinkle, have some fun with the fight. I'm just trying to keep it real with you guys. So as far as the matchup, Gazayev, I like Gazayev in the spot for a couple different reasons. So a lot of people are talking about the cardio issues, and for sure, the man does have cardio issues. Most of his fights have not gone past round 1. And that's a big concern, especially for a UFC debutant. But I think a lot of people are saying that without really addressing the cardio on the other side. We've seen Budai look relatively good for 15 minutes, but in most fights that I've seen, I'm seeing, him slow down and gas at the end of round 1. I've seen him enter round 2s and slow down a bunch. So, it's cardio concerns on both sides for me. Gazayev is a guy that he touches people and they hit the floor. We saw that in Dana White's Contender Series. First shot he threw, he landed, and the guy was on his back. I don't think he has that death touch, that Deontay Wilder, Francis Ngannou type of death touch, but he touches people when they go down. He made a mistake in that Dana White Contender Series fight, just kind of overextended himself and kind of rushed in and got reversed immediately on the ground. So I think if he just stays calm, lets off some shots, while this guy's on his back, rocked, I think he gets him out of there. But we've seen his regional tape too, multiple times within the first couple strikes that he's throwing, he's putting guys down. So of course, I like that. and it's a price thing for me. I saw plus 126. That's not even the best of the number. He was plus 140, plus 145. In already the heavyweight division and already extremely volatile division. And this matchup, I like the plus money. So, Boudet gets hit a ton. I believe opponents are landing close to 6 significant strikes a minute on Martin Boudet, which is a lot. If you're getting hit that much in the heavyweight division against a guy like this, I think Gazaev is going to land. So if I think he's going to land, I think he's going to do serious damage, possibly get him out of there, which is why I took the round 1, round 2 KO sprinkle. And yeah, Boudet, I mean, you look at who Boudet's faced, he's facing guys that are smaller than him for the most part, and guys that don't really have that power that I think Gazaev is going to have, even in the UFC, step up in competition. Lorenzo Hood, small guy, doesn't really, not UFC level. Chris Barnett, notoriously small for the division. Little thick boy, fat boy, but notoriously small, short for the division. Bresky, undersized for the division. Jake Collier was fighting, 2 divisions lower before in his career, and he's kind of just a fat boy heavyweight now. And Josh Parisian doesn't really present that death touch, that one punch power. So I think there's going to be something new for Martin Boudet. Heavyweight fight plus 126. I think he's going to get him in the first round. I really do. But people are talking about Gazaev's cardio as if it's a known. We've seen him go to decision before, and he did look pretty bad round 2, round 3, but I don't think it's 100% certainty that this fight gets to round 2 and Gazaev has no chance to win past round 1. I don't really think that. So that's why I took round 1, round 2. Give me the plus money in a heavyweight fight. I think Gazaev touches him. Hopefully the first couple times he touches him, pause, he goes out, and that's all that Gazaev needs. So starting the night with a dog, heavyweight fight, and we'll see what happens. Two big men swinging and banging. So we'll see what happens. Let's hit up the chat. Joshua's in the chat. I appreciate you being here, Joshua. Zappy was in the chat last couple of weeks, so I appreciate you consistently showing that love, my brother. Russell's in the chat. He says lame. I don't know what he means. Maybe he think my pick is lame, but I don't blame you. Like I said, heavyweight fight, big boys banging. We'll see how it goes, my brother. So I was just hoping he doesn't get dropped by Sergey. I like Gazaev. Yeah, I'm with you, my brother. Buddy's also in the Twitch chat. I appreciate you, buddy. Or Bud. My bad. I can't read. But yeah, let's move on. So starting out a little bit hot, plus money dog. So we love that. Moving on to the next fight. We're gonna keep the trend going. I'm also on the dog in this fight. Andre Fili is fighting Lucas Almeida. And I like Lucas Almeida in this spot. Let me see what I got him at. So I got Lucas Almeida plus 146 on FanDuel. Should be right around that area. If you have DK and you want to take Almeida spread, I don't mind that at all. Andre Fili is not the most potent finisher. But yeah, just in terms of money lines, let's talk about that. So, Lucas Almeida is a guy that, super talented. I love watching him fight. He's always in exciting fights. I bet against him in the Nathaniel Wood fight, his last time out. And it was a close fight. Both guys dropped each other. And, I thought Nathaniel Wood won justifiably, but still a great fight. But there's going to be some differences here in this. I think Andre Fili has had matchups that lean towards him being a little bit more comfortable. And what I mean by that is he's fighting guys that are normally maybe a little bit smaller than him, like Nathaniel Wood, or he's fighting guys that have, don't have the knockout power that Lucas Almeida does. So, not favorable matchups. He's fighting Joanderson Brito, Bill Algeo. Those are tough matchups. So don't get me wrong, he's fighting tough guys, but I think this is just a different matchup. Andre Fili is another guy that I don't like his striking defense. He's another guy that gets hit a lot. We've seen him hurt or dropped in almost every single one of his UFC fights. And that's not good fighting a guy like Lucas Almeida. Both guys are fairly technical in terms of offensive boxing, but I think Almeida's a little bit more crisp. I think he's going to have more power. I think he's going to be slightly faster. The straight punches beat the looping punches most of the time, and that's more what you get from Fili, more of that from touchy Fili, that more of that unorthodox kind of striking from all angles, looping shots, not thrown with too much power. So, like I said, I think Lucas is going to have the power edge. Andre Fili, 9 knockouts on his resume, so let's not overlook that. But that's most of those I think are more of the production of him being so crisp, so clean, so fast, and that combination of those three things leading to him hurting guys. Lucas Almeida has devastating power in his hands. Like I said, his offensive boxing I love. Super crisp, really, really good counterpuncher. Not in love with his, striking defense either. He can definitely get hit, but he's an extremely tough guy. Never been knocked out. Only been finished once in 16 professional fights. So, I think Lucas has more finishing equity in this fight. I think he's going to be faster, more powerful. Obviously the main hole in this game is the ground game. We've seen him taken down a lot. We've seen him held down. He's been subbed in his career. So that'd be a huge worry, if it wasn't for him fighting Andre Touchy Fili. That it's a guy that is talented on the ground. We saw that in the Nathaniel Wood fight. Some of those scrambles in that fight were amazing. So he has skills on the ground. He can get the fight to the ground, and he can produce on the ground. But he's just not a guy that likes to do that. He's a guy that likes to stand and bang, till one man falls, or he has club of subs on his record and stuff like that. But he's just not a guy that I can trust consistently to wrestle for 15 minutes. So if you're not doing that, and I don't really like your finishing equity, and we're getting close to plus 150, I mean, it's a no-brainer in my mind. So, I didn't sprinkle any props, but I do think I made a finish with some. Fili, it's weird because he's chinny. I don't like his chin, but I don't think he's not durable. I don't think Fili is just a walkthrough. I don't think he's just made of glass. His recoverability is good. We saw that in a Nathaniel Wood fight. It's very tough for Wood to get him out of there. Didn't get him out of there, despite hurting him many times. So, I think I made a catches him with some shit. I really do. Fili gets hurt way too much. He gets touched with the hands way too much. I like Almeida's kicking game too. Every kick he throws with malicious intent. So I think that can play a factor in this fight too. And yeah, give me Almeida, another dog shot. 2 fights, 2 dogs. So starting out hot. Look at the chat real quick. Russell said submission all the way. I don't know if you're talking about Boudet. Let me know what you're talking about. Corey, appreciate you. Always here for the info. Appreciate you too, my brother. Thank you for watching. 1K said plus 3.5 DK. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Like I said at the top, I'm opting not to do that because it's a little bit juicy, and I'm playing some. I got a 3.5 that we're going plus 3.5 that we're gonna talk about real soon. But yeah, I don't mind that at all. You want to be a little bit safer, just banking on him, maybe dropping him, winning a round on all three judges' scorecards. I don't mind that at all. But yeah, with that said, let's keep it rolling. Like I said, trying to get you guys in and out. So that's a really good segue. We're gonna keep going, and this is the plus 3.5 that I'm on. We got Cody Durden. Excuse me, sorry. Let me get to my notes. We got Cody Durden fighting Tagir Ulanbekov, and I had some trouble with this one throughout the week. Before tape, I was like, 100%. I'm backing Cody in this. I'm gonna find a way to back Cody in this spot. During tape, after tape, I was a little bit more hesitant on what I wanted to do. Do I want to trust Cody just a money line shot? Obviously, he's been very, very productive and have made a lot of people money as a dog his last couple of fights. I think he's on like a 4-fight winning streak. I think he was a dog most of those fights. So been very, very productive. But I think that's going to lead to, a lot of people overvaluing him in the spot. Oh, he's a dog again. We're getting close to plus 50 again. I think people are going to be too quick to back a guy like Durden without doing the proper research just because, I cashed a ticket on his last time or whatever the case may be. But, it's a tough matchup. I think Tagir is very talented. I think he's crisp on the feet, nasty guillotine choke, very talented, very, very fast, puts combos together. But I don't know if I said it already, but I took Cody Durden plus 3.5. Let me get the odds. It was minus 160 on DK. So obviously you're paying for some juice. That's because you're taking the way safer approach, which is what I opted to do. Just banking on him to win one round. And there are very few guys that, I'd rather trust to just get me one round on all 3 judges' scorecard than Cody Durden. Absolute junkyard motherfucking dog. No matter what, he's going to fight for your money. As soon as the bell rings, he's going to be in your face, trying to take you down, getting better with the striking too. I've heard a lot of people knock his striking and his cardio this week. And those are two things that I think have gotten a lot better, especially during this four fight win streak. He's a guy that even previously when he slowed down, end of round 2, round 3s, he's a guy that's going to push through it. He's not going to bend in the game plan. He's going to try to take you down, implement his game plan, land nasty ground and pound, take you back and try to choke you the fuck out. And he's going to do that for 15 straight minutes until you get him out of there. If you can get him out of there, congratulations. He's been a very, very tough guy throughout his career. But yeah, that's what it comes down to for me. Junkyard Dog. Both guys, I think, have offensive wrestling equity in this spot. Both guys are tough. Both guys have power, which is why I'm not in love with the Cody Durden money line. You know what I'm saying? I think he can lose a very, very close fight, but I think that's what it comes down to. I think this is a close fight. Two guys that are similar in their skills, but I'm backing Cody Durden to get me around. Like I said, I think he has offensive wrestling equity as well. He does a really, really good job mixing his hands up with the level changes, which I think, can win him some minutes and some moments in these rounds, on the feet, striking. I think he can land on Tegir. Not in love with his striking defense either. We've talked about that a lot already during the show. But yeah, I'm trying to respect Tegir because I think he's very, very talented. I think he does a lot of things well. So this bet, the plus 3.5, is more respect for Ulanbekov in this spot. So if Cody wins, great, we cash. If Cody, loses a close fight, hopefully we still cash. Judging has been, in my opinion, very incompetent over the last couple of weeks, last couple of months. So that's always the danger taking these plus 3.5s. You're relying on, okay, my guy looks like, or my girl looks like she won a round, but now we got to pray that the judges see it that way too. So, I think Cody lands takedowns. Tagir's get up game is very, very good. But if there's a round that Cody lands 2 or 3 takedowns, I mean, it's going to be hard not to score that round for him. Even if Tegir is working his way back to his feet. So, yeah, a little bit long-winded there, but Cody Durden plus 3.5. I think that's the safest way to play this spot. Still backing the dog, but in a much, much safer way. Absolute junkyard dog. Do it for America, Cody. He loving him some Trump lately too. So gonna be in the building. Do it for Trump, Cody. Do it for us. And cash a ticket for us. There's also some rumors going around. This is coming from Cody, so I don't know how much to put in it. He might just be trying to talk shit on Twitter, but he did tweet out that he thinks Tegir has staph infection on his back. You saw during weigh-ins, Tegir took off his shirt, stepped on a scale, then put his shirt right back on for the face-off. So listen, I don't want to read too much into that, but if he does have staph, that's a big, big worry. Staph usually taking medications and all of that stuff, which can very much hinder your cardio and your energy levels in a fist fight. So even if you got a good gas tank, that can really do damage to your fighting ability. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, that's 3 for 3. We talked about 3 fights, back in 3 dogs. So I told you guys we're loving a lot of dogs this week. So what's the next fight? All right. So next fight I want to talk about is Cody Garbrandt versus Brian Boom Kelleher. This is an interesting fight. A lot of back and forth in this fight. I kind of think I'm on a square side, but this is another fight where I'm just taking a couple of sprinkles. So I took Brian Kelleher round 1, round 2 KO at plus 550. I also took Kelleher by decision at plus 550 as well. And that may be a little bit of a shocker to people, but I'll explain to you guys why. Just quarter of a unit on both guys, on both props, excuse me. This is another fight where I thought I'm going to bet Kelleher money line. I'm going to bet the plus 160, plus 170. How can I not? But there's another fight where I'm trying to show still respect to Cody. Cody's fighting a lot differently as of late, his last couple of fights, especially his last fight. Cody, I mean, you guys have probably heard it all throughout fight week if you watch content on UFC. I'm going to say the same things. Cody's a legend of the game, former champion, extremely talented guy. He's going to have a lot of advantages in this fight. He's going to be faster. He's going to be way more technical. He has offensive wrestling, which he's used a lot more in his recent fights. He's a good defensive wrestler, decent grappler, power in his hands. Obviously, we saw that throughout his career. So he's gonna he does a lot of things well, and he's gonna have a lot of advantages in this fight. I think he's the better overall mixed martial artist than Brian Kelleher is, especially at this age. How old is Kelleher? Kelleher's like 30, 37 now. But Cody has no chin. And that's, backing a guy minus 190, minus 200 when you literally have to worry every time he takes a shot, whether he's going to crumble or not. I can't do that. So, Brian Kelleher is a guy that he's gone to decision a lot, especially in his UFC career, but he's a guy that can do a lot of things too. He can take you down. We've seen that throughout his career. There's fights that he's landed 6, 7, 8 takedowns, power in his hands, relatively fast. Not super technical with the boxing, but still power in his hands. So yeah, especially the way Cody's fighting now. Cody's fighting a lot more hesitant. We saw that in his last fight. He landed. I just want to make sure I get this correct so I don't, misinform you guys. But I think he landed less than 40 punches in his last fight. Yes. In a 15-minute fight against Trevin Jones, he landed 33 strikes. 33 strikes in a 15-minute fight. Landed 2 takedowns, and that's kind of, we talk about the adjustment. Cody knows what's up. He's the one getting knocked out all these fucking times. He knows he had to kind of make a change, and that change involves him being a lot more passive, a lot less volume, going to the offensive wrestling a lot more, and that's kind of what lends me to boom by decision as well. At plus 550, I think this fight can definitely go 15 minutes. I think Kelleher has decision equity here. I think he can have the bigger moments in these rounds by landing shots on Cody. As good of a wrestler, especially defensively, that Cody is, I think Boom can find himself on top, whether it's, for 30 seconds, a minute, but those are the type of things that, can eat minutes, win rounds, stuff like that. So I don't think Boom has to knock him out to win this fight. I think he can win a 29-28 on the judges' scorecard. So, which is why I took him by decision. So Cody's another thing too. Cody's a guy that we've seen this time and time again. He could have a game plan and all of that. His game plan could be, let me skirt the outside, let me pick him apart, let me use my kicks, let me use my long range punches. He's a guy that if he gets hit, almost the first time he gets hit, the game plan goes out the fucking window. He gets hit, he sees red like a fucking bull or whatever it is, and game plan goes out the window. So, Cody could be fighting beautifully for 8-9 minutes, and Kelleher could touch him once and either put him out or throw him off that game plan. And Cody gets in a fight and gets touched up by Kelleher. So yeah, I do like Kelleher in this spot. I think he wins this fight, but I'm not confident enough in that take to take his money line, even though it's plus 160. So just a couple of shots. Kelleher round 1, round 2 KO, and Kelleher by decision. So yeah, there's some concerns on the Kelleher side too. Obviously, just had neck surgery. He's getting up there in age, but he's another guy that's a dog. He's tough. He's been subbed a bunch, but he's tough. He's durable. So if Cody looks good and he's trying to stunt and piecing him up in the first round, I don't lose hope. I don't lose hope in Kelleher. Gas tank is pretty good. Durability is pretty good, and to just take one of those fucking punches, especially on the chin like Cody's, to change the whole fight and to possibly win the fight. So. So say you got a 3-legger for the night. I need to finesse a 1K slip. I do got a 3-legger, and we're gonna talk about that. It's a safer money line, parlay 3-legger. But I do got one. We're gonna talk about that in a second. Charisma Rivera's in the chat. I'm betting to here just because he looks like Kamzat in the face-off graphic. Good luck with that, my brother. 1K Cody chin just scares me, yeah, but mostly at flyweight. Cody equals emotional damage. Yeah, bro, there's a lot of red flags. You in a fist fight in a cage, so if you can't take punches, it's gonna be very, very hard. But he implemented his game plan, shut down Trevin Jones. But is Trevin Jones UFC material? I don't really think so. So different fight here in my eyes. But yeah, let's move on. Okay, so I want to talk about one more fight, and then actually no, 2 more fights, and then we'll get to that 3-leg parlay. So next fight I want to talk about is Irene Aldana going against Carol Hossa. So this is a money line that I did take. I was hesitant, but I watched tape again. I watched tape twice for this fight, and I jumped on it. So I'm on another dog. I'm on Carol Hossa. I got her money line at plus 160. I'm cool with that down to like plus 150, plus 145. I'll still take it there. I also took Hossa by split decision at plus 800 on DraftKings, the classic WMMA close split decision. I think that price is kind of ridiculous. So, obviously Irene Aldana's coming off one of the worst performances of her career. I don't know how people, again, it could be a lot of things. It could be a bad night at the office. You woke up on the wrong side of the bed. The Bright Lights Championship fight against the women's GOAT, Amanda Nunes, can be scary. You know what I'm saying? But you still got to go out there and perform. That surprised me a lot. Irene did not seem, to me, at least personally, like the type of fighter to kind of shut down for 5 rounds. She's of Mexican descent. We know Mexicans are tough as fuck, and she is tough as fuck. I'm not taking anything away from her, but she just got that dog in her. She's one of those fighters that, as soon as the bell rings, she's always in motion. She's in your face. She's trying to back you up. So that performance was very, very surprising. Shout out to Amanda for shutting down a girl like Aldana. But Aldana just laid a fucking egg, and now she's almost minus 200. I don't like, in a WMMA. I don't like Irene and her fight style. Irene's fight style. I don't like her minus 200 against a lot of girls in this division. I think minus 200 against a lot of girls is way inflated, way overpriced. And in this matchup, I think the same thing. We get a little bit of a clash of styles. Hossa is a girl that throws everything with vicious intent. She sits down on her punches. Everything she throws, her kicks, is she trying to do damage. And I love that. I think this fight is going to be close. One thing that I really favor Hossa on is, in a lot of her fights, she gets better as the fight goes on. Sometimes she starts out slow, volume can be low, but she really turns it on. Round 2, round 3, she really fucking turns it on, and that shows me a couple of different things. One, the cardio's there. Hossa has slowed down. She's, like I said, she's throwing power in almost everything she throws, so she's gonna slow down a little bit, but she has that 15-minute cardio to put it on you in round 3. The second thing, I think she makes adjustments. We saw it in the what fight was that? I want to make sure. Excuse me 1 second. I want to make sure I'm getting that right. The Yana Santos fight, right? Whole first round, Yana's just pushing her up against the cage, kind of cage fucking her. And second round, she made a great adjustment. She started angling more. Yana was going for tie up. She kind of framed off, circled out of that to get her back towards the center of the octagon again. And that just shows she's making adjustments. You know what I'm saying? It can be hard for some people to make adjustments during a fist fight. You know what I'm saying? It's a hectic environment. So she's making adjustments. She gets better as the fight goes on. And I think Irene gets worse as the fight goes on. I think she's still liable to finish girls. We saw it in the Macy Chazon fight. I always get her fucking name wrong too. But that was a fight that I thought she was losing until she wasn't. I thought she was losing it until she wasn't. She had a great first round against Macy. Second round was a lot closer. I think Macy won the second round. The volume dropped off in that Macy fight in the second round. Macy was able to kind of back her down. The whole first round, Irene was moving forward. Almost the whole second round, Irene was moving backwards. And in the third round, Macy's coming on strong again. I thought she won the first half of that round. Takes her down, tries to get up. I don't know why. She was controlling her pretty well, in my opinion. Maybe the sub threat. She had caught her arm a couple of times in that fight. Tries to get up, and talk about a fucking meme KO. Irene gets her with a fucking up kick KO, up kick to the liver, completely shuts down Macy. It was crazy. We talk about meme KOs all the time. That should be in the meme KO Hall of Fame. So, she's liable to lose that fight before pulling one out. And shout out to her. So we've just seen it many times. Irene slowing down. She slowed down in the Amanda fight, which doesn't say much. She never sped up in the first place, but she slowed down in that Macy fight. So, I think as this fight goes on, as hard as Hossa hits, I know Arena's tough as fuck. She's been tough to finish before. She's been knocked out twice, but that was super, super early in her career. So she's been knocked down in the UFC before. But I'm telling you, these Mexican fighters, just as tough as they come. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't personally sprinkle on Hossa late props, or Hossa finishing props, but I think it's a possibility. I really do. Rounds 2, end of round 2, round 3, where Rosa's picking it up, Aldana slowing down. I think it's a possibility. I think the biggest deficiency in Hosa's game is getting stuck up against the cage. Girls are able to push her up against the cage and keep her there for whole fucking rounds. And Irene just doesn't do that. Irene wants to box. If Carol, I've seen Carol hit some trips, some like inside trips before. So, Rosa's not a girl that wants to wrestle either. She's not looking to get you down. She wants to strike. She wants to hit your face off of your face. But I think she can, surprise Irene too and find some top time too. So, we've seen Irene look like a complete fish off her back at times. I think she has skill on the ground, but we've seen her spend minutes on her back. So if Rosa is able to somehow find some top time as well, land some ground and pound, that's good for us too. That can be that can sway around, sway a judge's opinion of that round. So yeah, and we're getting plus money. So in a WMMA fight where fights more times than not seem to be close as fuck, we getting plus 160. That's also a plus in my mind. So yeah, love the matchup. Definitely going to be Hosa's toughest fight of her career. Her I would say highest skilled opponent in her career. But I think she pulls through. I think Hosa's talented, has the cardio, has the power, has the physicality. I think she'll be stronger in this matchup. So yeah, give me Hosa money line plus 160 here in this spot. All right, so we got one more straight bet that I want to talk about. Then I'm gonna hit you guys with the little 3-leg builder, moneyline parlay, whatever you want to call it. So let's check out the chat. YBB said Carol should be closer to plus 100 too. Yes, I agree, my brother. I agree 100%. And that's all we could do. Play the number. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking about playing a plus 3.5, just trying to be safe, like I said before. But I really, really, really like the matchup. Love the value too. So yeah, 100% agree. All right, so let's shoot to the co-main event. Aleksandar Pantoja fighting Brandon Royval. What a fucking banger this is. Flyweight title on the line. Just what a banger. Great matchmaking, great fight. I think it's going to be an exciting fight. I think Royval is deserving of a title shot. Pantoja starting his title reign, looking for his first title defense. And obviously, as most of you guys know, this is a rematch. A couple years ago, Pantoja finished Royval by, I think it was round two sub. Make sure I get that right. Yeah, round 2 sub. So yeah, we're getting a rematch here. And I like Pantoja. I love Pantoja. I got Pantoja money line at minus 190. And I also took that minus 190 was on FanDuel. I also took Pantoja round 2, 3, 4 sub at plus 330. And I took Pantoja round 2, 3, 4 KO at plus 850. So some middle round finish props for Pantoja. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I think in hindsight, again, I may be completely wrong. I made it like a fucking idiot, but I think in hindsight, I think this minus 190 is gonna look like a discount. I really do. I think Pantoja is gonna win. I think he's gonna cover this number, and I think he finishes Brandon Royval. Brandon Royval is no doubt extremely talented. The striking is excellent. The versatility in his strikes, good size for the division, good power for the division, fast, great kicks, extremely talented. Like I said, deserving of this title shot. But Pantoja is a motherfucker. Pantoja is a motherfucker. I think Brandon Royval has little to no finishing equity in this spot. I see some people taking Royval finish props and inside the distance and all of that shit. A lot of people are pointing to Pantoja's cardio as if it's an issue. Pantoja's a guy that we've seen, I guess, quote unquote, slow down in fights, but he's a guy that pushes through it no problem. He's a guy that can keep the pace up for 5 rounds. We've seen it before. And now you want me to think that Royval's pressure and volume is going to be a problem for Pantoja. Pantoja just fought Brandon Royval. I mean, not Brandon Royval. Pantoja just fought. I just caught a brain fart. Hold on. Let me get it. I hate when that fucking happens, bro. Brandon Moreno, Mr. Lego Master. For Brandon Moreno for like the second or third time. Ain't nobody in this division gonna outvalue and outpace Brandon Moreno. Nobody's going to do that. So, especially over 5 rounds, Brandon Moreno can put up a lightning pace, a nonstop pace for 5 rounds. I'll take him in terms of that volume and that pressure and that pace game. I'll take him over anybody in this division. So, Pantoja's been there, done that. You know, beat Moreno. You know, I watched that fight again, obviously watching tape for this fight. And I think it was pretty clear in my mind, you know, on my scorecard that Pantoja won that fight. Close fight, but amazing fight. But yeah, I don't think Royval is going to really. I think Royval brings slightly more versatile strikes. But you know, Brandon Moreno's ground game is nasty, stand up is nasty, and Pantoja passed that test. So, you know, Pantoja does leave openings. Pantoja gets hit a lot, but that motherfucker's head is like a brick house, you know, a brick fucking house, and that's why I just don't really see much finishing equity from Brandon Royval. I think if somebody gets finished in this fight, it's going to be Brandon Royval. And you know, as well rounded as I'm talking about Brandon Royval being, I think Alexandre Pantoja is just as, if not more, well rounded. Amazing striking, amazing world class jiu-jitsu, great offensive wrestling, great defensive wrestling. If Royval decides that that's the fight he wants to have and start shooting takedowns, you know, and shooting doubles and shit like that, trying to get his clinch game going, I don't think that's a fight he wants to have. I don't like that decision. If that's the one he makes, I think Pantoja can catch him with shit up the middle, whether it's knees, front kicks up the middle. I think the leg kicks are going to be devastating by Pantoja. And Pantoja's defensive wrestling, I think, is world class. I think it's elite. It really is. And even if he is on his back, I'm comfortable with that. Very dangerous off his back, very dangerous on top. So, you know, we may get a repeat of the first fight. I really do. I think within 3 rounds, 3.5 rounds, I think this fight is finished. I think Pantoja retains his title. I think it is by finish. But of course, you know, Pantoja has this decision equity as well. We've seen that multiple times through his career. You know, beating a guy like Manel Cobb, beating a guy like Brandon Moreno by decision. So I love Pantoja on this card. I know it's juiced. I know it's, you know, minus 190, but arguably my best bet on this card is just his money line and those round 2, round 3, round 4 KO sub props. I love it. I love it a lot. So Brandon Royval got openings too. He got holes in his game too. He gets hit a lot as well. His first 5-round fight, I believe is his first 5-round fight. So that's unknown territory as well. Pantoja, I think it's his time. I really do. I think he reigns for a good little bit in his division. Like I say, he is a motherfucker. So, you know, I don't envision myself fading Pantoja anytime soon. Anytime soon. So give me Pantoja money line and still, baby, and still. So that does it for the straight bets. I'm gonna keep this parlay really, really short, really sweet. So 3-leg money line parlay, super chalky, super fucking square, and I don't give a fuck. It's gonna be Bryce Mitchell money line, Patty the Baddie Pimlet money line, and Shavkat Rakhmonov money line. 3 big favorites. You know, Bryce Mitchell's the least chalky favorite, and he's minus 200. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory. I'll go fight by fight, but I'm gonna keep it real short. Bryce Mitchell, obviously in the prime of his career, coming off a great performance versus Dan Ige. Josh Emmett has been talking about retirement a lot lately. I was trying to get confirmation. I don't think he's come out and said this is his retirement fight, but I may be wrong on that. But either way, the man is old as shit. He's good. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to disrespect him. Vicious power in his hands, all of that good stuff. But Bryce is going to be relentless in his matchup. He's going to shoot a million takedowns if that's what it takes. He's going to get him down, and which is why I took Bryce Mitchell round 2 sub at plus 1,200, and I took Bryce Mitchell round 3 sub at plus 2,000. I like Josh Emmett's submission defense. He showed it before. Guys have been on his back for multiple minutes in a round, and he survived against high-level guys before. So I think if a sub comes, I think it's after some action, after Josh Emmett has maybe slowed down a little bit. Guys get a little more sweaty, pause, and yeah. So as the fight goes on, with Bryce's relentlessness, his world-class grappling, I think he gets the job done. I really do. Again, those are sprinkles, right? It's 12-1 and 20-1. So those are long shots, but I think those prices are absolutely insane. I think Bryce Mitchell wins this fight. And he's been training. This is a short notice fight for Bryce, but he's been training. He's been very open about staying ready, waiting for a call, hoping to get a call from the UFC. And there he goes, got a call in what I think is an amazing matchup for him. So Paddy Pimblett, Tony Ferguson. I'm not gonna say anything about that fight. I think Tony's done. I'm never gonna tell a fighter, oh, stop fighting. I'm never gonna, that's their livelihood. Get your money up, do what you want to do. Paddy is looking for a bounce back, obviously coming off a surgery, coming off that very controversial decision versus Gordon. And he seems focused this week. He seems very focused. He seems like he's on kill mode. Obviously, the kid is a great wrestler, great grappler. You don't really want to fuck around a lot there with Tony, but I think even that's, kind of in the past. We just saw, Bobby Green sub this guy not too long ago. So sub Tony. So much respect to Tony, legend of the game. But I think Paddy wins this fight. I think Paddy finishes this fight and gets that name on his resume, which is what the UFC wants. Shavkat, Wonder Boy, again, not gonna talk about it a lot. Shavkat is that fucking dude. Shavkat is a fucking problem. I think it's a matter of time before he holds gold. He got 12 pounds of gold around his waist. I don't see anybody stopping that man. Just world class, almost anywhere the fight goes. A motherfucker on his feet, power, technicality in his boxing. Great offensive, defensive wrestler, great grappler, can finish you anywhere the fight goes. And now, very one-dimensional opponent in front of him. I see no advantages for Stephen Thompson in this fight. Maybe speed. Maybe I'll give him speed probably. But that's about it. I think Shavkat wins this fight. However the fuck he decides to. Shavkat is a smart guy. He doesn't talk a lot. He's not a shit talker. Barely talks at all. But Shavkat, I think, is a smart guy, high IQ guy. I think he goes to the wrestling early, often, gets Wonder Boy down, path of least resistance, and I think he gets him out of there. So 3-leg moneyline parlay. That's plus 111 on DK. That was the best price that I could get. Yeah, Bryce Mitchell, Paddy the Baddy, Shavkat, moneyline, plus 111, 3-leg moneyline parlay. Daniel, hopefully the dogs are barking tonight. Yeah, I hope so, my brother. If there's one of those cards when no dogs win, I'm gonna be homeless and you guys will never see me again. So let's hope not. Capitella, what's good, my guy? Been showing love for a minute, everywhere on Twitter, everywhere. So I appreciate you for being here. Good stuff, Finesse. Most thorough breakdown from UFC from anyone I follow. I appreciate that, my brother. Usually, my ass is talking for a lot more than this, but we're trying to keep it relatively quick tonight. But I appreciate you for watching, my brother. Daniel, is all this information in your brain or do you have notes? Either way, the insight is impressive, FTB. I appreciate that. I appreciate those kind words. Usually I have notes. You wouldn't believe how many fucking pages my notes take up. I watch the fights, take notes as I'm watching the fights, and then I go back once the fights are done. Once I'm done taping, kind of write down my final thoughts and kind of group them all together into coherent thoughts. That's usually what I go off, doing these shows. But we're trying to keep these at a good time. I'm not trying to keep you guys here all night. So I still do have notes, but I try to cut them off and all of that. Yeah, I do way too much research. I watch way too much tape. And I could talk all fucking night. So I appreciate you. I'm glad you're finding some value in me breaking down these fights. That's the whole point. So I appreciate you. Homegrown. James, is it possible to scroll up in the Twitch chat? I don't know if I missed something. I don't know if that's possible. Okay. All right. I got you. Homegrown says, what up, man? Good pick there, I think. No chance for Cody. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. Homegrown also says Almeida or Fili. Sorry if I missed that one already. Yeah, you did. So that was a little bit earlier in the card. I'm on Lucas Almeida money line. Plus, what was it? Plus 146 on FanDuel. Lucas Almeida money line. OM, anyone have a link for UFC 296 stream? We don't talk about links over here, but just hit my line, my guy. You feel me? Hit my DMs and I'll take care of you. Yeah. So do me a favor, guys. I don't know how many people are watching, but like the video. I haven't said it at all. I'm a terrible fucking host, but like the video for me. Let me try to fix my camera because it is all fucking blurry. Boom, boom. Right? Clear. I'm pretty again. All right, boom. Yeah, hit that like button for me. I appreciate you guys. It helps us out a ton. It lets people that haven't seen the show, it It shows them, gets more eyes on the show, eyes that haven't watched it. So, like I said, I was busy as fuck today. I'm gonna be busy for the rest of the day, but I want to try to remain consistent with this. We on episode 10, so we've been doing this for a couple of months. I want to stay consistent for you guys. I want to try to turn this show into something that you guys can rely on every week. We can make money every week or most weeks, and we can have some fun and talk some fights. So hit that like button for me. It goes a long way. It's something very, very simple that you guys can do for me to help me out a lot. So yeah, I mean that's all I got. DraftKings is offering a stepped up parlay. So I'm gonna put one of those together. It's gonna be a long shot parlay. I'm gonna put one of those together. If you're interested in that, it'll probably be on Twitter. I'll probably throw it on Twitter. So just follow me on Twitter. You guys will get that. Breeder one, he's on point almost every time at Daniel. I appreciate that, Breed. I appreciate that. I'm glad I don't just sound like a dumb fuck talking over these fights. W, I don't even remember who was the main card on the last pay-per-view. What do you think of the Casey fight? Yeah, that's a tough one, bro. I like King Casey. I really do. I've been a fan of her for a very long time. I mean, not that has to do with making a pick. I definitely lean towards Lipsky in that fight, another dog. But she's definitely getting better. She's definitely leveling up. Her takedown defense is getting better. Her striking is getting better. She's training and working with Amanda Nunes now. So, probably one of the best coaches you can have in the world, especially for trying to get better. You know what I'm saying? And trying to fill holes in your game. So she's definitely getting better, but this is a tough fight. You know what I'm saying? I think this can be a close fight. I think both girls can finish each other. Casey has shown to be extremely, extremely tough. But yeah, I think both girls can finish each other. I do. Lipsky has good size in his matchup. It's really tough, my brother. I'm not confident on either side. I do lean towards Lipsky, but I want to respect the junkyard motherfucking dog that Casey O'Neill is. I want to respect her. So the books know what they're doing more times than not, and Casey O'Neill is minus 200. So I think that line is a little absurd. I think minus 200 is a little bit absurd, which is why I would lean towards Lipsky. But I hope that helps a little bit. Not really, because I didn't say much. I said a whole lot to say absolutely fucking nothing. But Lipsky is where I lean. But yeah, that's going to do it, my friends, boys and girls. That is going to do it. A little bit under an hour, right? A little bit under an hour. So accomplished the mission there. A lot of dogs. Let me do a recap for you guys real quick. Let me try to be a professional host and do a recap for you guys. So here we go. Boom. I'm gonna read them off real quick. Shamil Gazayev, money line, plus 126. Gazayev, round 1, round 2 KO at plus 370. Lucas Almeida, money line, plus 146. Cody Durden, plus 3.5, minus 160. Brian Kelleher, round 1, round 2 KO, plus 550. I also took Brian Kelleher by decision, plus 550. Carol Hossa moneyline plus 160, and Rosa by split decision plus 800. 3-leg moneyline parlay, Bryce Mitchell, Paddy Pimblett, Shavkat Rakhmonov at plus 111. In the Bryce Mitchell fight, I also took Bryce round 2 sub and round 3 sub at plus 1200 and plus 2000. Pantoja moneyline minus 190. And thank God I'm recapping. Oh no, I did tell you guys about this. Pantoja round 2, round 3, round 4 sub at plus 330, and Pantoja round 2, round 3, round 4 KO at plus 850. So that is all of my plays, all of my props. Like I said, I'm gonna do the stepped up DK parlay. I'll post that on Twitter for the people. And yeah, that's it. That's it, boys and girls. So I appreciate you guys being here. Kind of a short notice. I tweeted about it earlier today. That's the only tweet that I put out. Again, terrible host of a program on YouTube, but it is what it is. I appreciate you guys for being here. Appreciate you guys for watching. It is going to be a banger of a card. Hopefully you guys can watch. Hopefully you guys have some time to watch. But yeah, I think we're going to make a shit ton of money tonight. I say that every week, but I genuinely think every week we're going to make a shit ton of money. So a lot of dogs don't need to hit a lot of bets to make profit because we're on so many dogs. So hopefully we cash every single fucking ticket that we place. Let's fucking go. Appreciate you guys for being active in the chat. If you're watching this back on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. Comment who you think is going to win in the main event. Very, very excited main event. I didn't talk about the main event because I don't have any action on it yet, but I might before the night is over. So comment who you think is going to win in the main event. Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards. And yeah, banger of a card. I hope you guys make a shit ton of money. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. If we don't talk again live, Merry Christmas to you guys. Have a Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. I love this time of year. You get to spend time with family and your loved ones. You get to bless people, which I try to do every opportunity that I get. So yeah, happy holidays to you guys. I love you guys. Appreciate you guys for watching. Hit that like button, please. And yeah, couple weeks off from UFC, but it's gonna be a new year. We coming into 2024 with energy, excited as fuck, ready to work harder than I ever have in my life, ready to make more money than I ever have in my life. And I hope you guys are excited as well. So if I don't catch you in the next couple weeks, I will see you guys live in 2024. And it's going to be a great year. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I'll see you next time. Peace.